Well, hello there, friends. It's me, your health coach, Callie, coming to you live from my kitchen. And I am here to share an experience of a lifetime that I've always been intrigued about, always wanted to do. But in some ways, I was a little bit trepidatious because I was a little fearful and I was concerned about how much is this going to cost me? Well, that fear quickly subsided this year as I decided that this would be my year to completely focus on me and my overall health and well-being. I am 54 now, or if we turn it backwards, I guess I can say I'm 45. We'll just stick with that. No, I'm 54 now, and now is the time for me to just really focus on my emotional, physical, mental, all the health that I need to focus on so I can be and live my best life for the duration of however long God blesses me to be on this earth. So with that being said, here we go. All the questions that you guys have been asking me about the water fast. Now, first and foremost, you have to understand why I decided to go. And I already shared a little bit about why I decided to go, because I needed to reset, restore, reboot, rejuvenate, whatever word you want to use, from my entire body from the inside out. Let's just say that. And the reason being is because you know how you ever felt like something was a little bit off? And when you feel something is off, that's your intuition telling you that, you got to do something. Like, you've got to take some action before it turns into something like really major. So not knowing quite what it was, I said, you know what, following my God inner power and what it is that was put on my spirit about just overall, you need to focus on your health and you need to focus on you this year. So I decided to do that. I've been a person that I'm kind of type A. I'm very ambitious and I work. I do take vacations, but I don't take the time to really focus on my health. So I do exercise. I do that every single morning because I recognize that that's important. I've been doing it now for about 25 years. So it's become a habit at this point. But in terms of, just taking a breath, taking a step back from the stressors of life, all the anxiety, all the things that's going on in the world, taking a step back from the things that I used to focus on now that are no longer important to me, because I'm on a whole nother energetic field, and focusing again on me and living on purpose, and also being able to heal myself and then in turn share what I learned with other people. So, hold on one second. My dog is having a spasm. Let me close the blinds. Okay, this whole time he hasn't barked, and of course I started a video, he wants to bark. So anyway, what I was saying is that I needed to just start anew, rejuvenate, restore, and also rest. So I decided that I was gonna go to TrueNorth Health Center in Santa Rosa, California. Now, doing that was a journey in itself because I live in the Midwest and it's in California. And there's no easy way to get there either, because you essentially have to take 2 or 3 flights to be able to get to Santa Rosa. It's wine country, which I found out after I had gotten there because I had never been before. And it is about an hour and a half drive from Oakland, maybe 2 hours from San Francisco. But there is an airport that's really super tiny. You know how you land on the runway and you basically have like this little bridge of stairs that takes you down the steps and you're walking on the runway to get into the terminal. That's pretty much what Santa Rosa Airport is about. And there's probably like 10 gates and that's it. Very quaint, very cute, but that's not the point of this video. It was going to be a challenge getting there. And I was going to California anyway because my wonderful aunt, who's 89 years old, decided that she wanted to get over her fear of flying that she never had before until she was at home watching like all of these videos about, what was happening in the world. So she decided she didn't want to fly for a while. But anyway, I digress. She decided she wanted to go to LA so she could visit her grandkids, one of which she had never met before. So I said to myself, this is the perfect opportunity. Not only do I get to share this experience with my aunt by taking her to California to make sure she gets there safe and all that. Remember, I said she's 89. But I can also take this time for me to unwind, relax, rejuvenate, restore, do all the things, right? So I decided I was going to go to True North. And once I found out and made it a point that I was going to go to True North, I reached out. So you have to go online to their website and you fill out this questionnaire. And in the questionnaire, they ask you lots of questions about your health, your current eating habits, just your lifestyle overall. And, I will say my lifestyle has pretty much been pretty good. Like, I stopped drinking alcohol many, many, many years ago. I've never smoked cigarettes, never smoked anything for that matter. And so it asks you a lot of health questions. And then, y'all, look what happened. I was like, this is meant to be. As soon as I finished the questionnaire and put down the dates that I wanted to attend TrueNorth Health Center, I get a call from a phone number in Santa Rosa, California. And guess who it is? It's Dr. Goldhammer himself. I was like, oh, what? I was like fanning out like a total fangirl. Like, I'm not one of those people that like gets all crazy about celebrities. But there's something about the mind and smart people and science and people, making a difference and living on purpose. Not that celebrities don't get me wrong. But, I was the one that fanned out with all the celebrities at the White House Correspondents' dinner several years ago. I fanned out because Bill Nye the Science Guy was there, like literally. Of all the people that was there, Olivia Pope was there. No, there were so many people there. But anyway, I fanned out about Bill Nye the Science Guy. So when he called, I could not believe it. I was like, oh my God, is this Dr. Goldhammer calling me? And so he asked me about, what it was that I wanted to accomplish. And he asked me if I would be interested in being a part of their study because, he has ongoing studies and has for years. So everything that he has done thus far has been scientifically based. And he's able to prove that water fasting actually does work. So anyway, I said, of course, yes, please sign me up. And so, he was very, very nice. What you see on the videos, just in terms of his demeanor and energy, is just like so even keel, but very, very welcoming and just pleasant. So I really was drawn to that. And I'm like, I'm going. I don't care what it takes. So anyway, I get to Santa Rosa. It was probably 9 o'clock at night. One of the things about True Health Center is that they have people that are on staff 24 hours to be able to support you in your fasting journey. So when I arrived, it was almost 10 o'clock at night. They still had people that were there for intake. So I was taken in by someone that was sitting at the desk, but also a nurse practitioner who took my vitals at that point. She was a lovely lady. She took me to my room, kind of showed me around the grounds, even though it was 10 o'clock at night. And I really, really appreciated her for it. And she kind of put my mind and my spirit at ease about being there. Now, when you go to True North, there are multiple rooms or room configurations that you can get. So you can have like a room with a twin size bed in it. It's like in an apartment. It looks like an apartment complex that they've turned into TrueNorth Health Center. So there's several buildings, and within the buildings, there are several configurations of like apartments. So you can share a suite with, your family member. So they have one of the two people that were there, maybe it was more than that. I remember somebody saying, you guys are staying in the palace, right? So there's like a big king suite that you can get where there's several rooms and you can bring your family. So you can make it a family affair to just heal and detox together. But I got one of the king rooms with a bathroom in it. I didn't mind sharing the common space with other people, but I did want to have my own bedroom. And the other thing about it was there's a full kitchen there. It's a nice, clean, comfortable, common area space that's within. And I had one roommate at the time, and he was the one that was on a 21-day water fast once I got there and met him, and he was ending his fast and he was trying to cure himself from a cancer diagnosis. And a lovely gentleman, and we didn't talk a lot because everybody's water fasting for the most part. There are other fasts that you can do, like you can do a juice fast, or you can do just a raw food only fast. And I will say Dr. Goldhammer is not an advocate of salt, oil, or sugar. So even if you're on the raw fast, you will be completely raw, whole food, no salt, oil, or sugar. And I would say after my experience, I have to concur with his thought process on salt, oil, and sugar. So anyway, I get there, I unpack. The room is very nice, very comfortable. I've got my own bathroom set up, and that is very nice, very comfortable. There's a desk, there's a chair, and then there's a bed, and there's a big closet for, obviously people come there to stay for more than the 5 days or, 7 or 8 days that I was there. Some people come and stay for 20 days. Some people come and stay for 31 days. So, or even more. So it was a nice, comfortable room. People want to know that. The other thing is they want to know how much did it cost. It was very affordable. And don't put a price on your health. So if you have some challenges, or you just know, and I feel like everybody needs to reset at some point in their lives, like multiple times a year, honestly. I try and detox at least once a quarter, but I've never done a water fast for this long where it was like extreme, where it was just water only. So, the affordability, it was affordable, and it's something that and I got this from some of the people that were in attendance doing the water fast. One lady, the one I said that's been there 11 times since she cured herself of all these different ailments that nothing could ever cure her from but the water fast. She said she just saves her money up throughout the year, knowing that she's going to go back to TrueNorth Health Center every year about the same time of year. So she just saves up her money. So you're worth it. Save up $50 a week, $100 a month, whatever it is that you need to do, so you can go and get your life back if that's what you need to do. So with that being said, I will tell you what it cost me to stay at TrueNorth Health Center. So it cost me $1,700 for the 7 days that I was there, with a king room, but with a bathroom in it, my separate bathroom. But if you don't mind sharing bathrooms, or you want a smaller room, then it'll be even less than that. And I thought $1,700 for everything that I was getting was incredible, because they take your vitals every day, twice a day. They come in and check you. You've got a nurse practitioner, doctor checks in on you. So you have people that are checking in on you the entire time that you're there, every single day, to make sure that you're good. So you're paying for that. And then it also includes your water. So in your kitchen, everyone has their separate kitchen. In your kitchen, there is water that is of room temperature, and then there was water in the refrigerator. So if you had a preference, you would be able to choose from, which water do you want today? Cold or not cold? And then also, once you come off of the fast, so they give you juice when you come off of the fast, fresh cold pressed juice, which was phenomenal. It was like a watermelon juice. I don't know what else it had in it, but it was incredible. It tastes so good, particularly after you've been fasting for 5 days, right, on water only. So I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And so it includes that as well. And then it also includes a 24-hour salad bar with all the things that you need. For example, if you're detoxing on just raw food only, or you're in the refeed segment of your water fast, you've got a 24-hour food cold salad bar. And I just wanted to see if it was 24 hours. Wait, and I didn't even tell you, I got this watermelon here. So I am in Jillian's school for raw food, and we're on a watermelon fast. So this is actually my first day of a full watermelon fast, and I got this wonderful seeded watermelon. So I was gonna cut that up and chat with you guys and talk about the water fast. All right, so I wanted to see for myself that this salad bar was actually open 24 hours, even though I was still on the water fast, but it was cool. By then it was like the 3rd day, so you kind of lose your desire to eat anyway. You're a little tired, stomach may be grumbling, but it's not as bad as day 2, let's say that. Day 1 is perfectly fine. Day 2 is a little bit more challenging. Anyhow, so I leave my room at like 10 o'clock at night. it probably was even later, 10:30, and you're in like this little courtyard. So everything is located in like a courtyard. So when you come out, you're in the courtyard. You're not like out and about, and everything is locked at night. So you're safe and sound. So I go into the place where they have the salad bar. It's like a kitchen and also a place where they do all the workshops. So I go in there, and yes, there was indeed a salad bar that was readily available for anybody that needed to have food, because they were now either on the refeed or they had been there detoxing off of just raw food. So again, you don't have to go and do the water fast per se. There are other options if you think that water fasting isn't for you, or you can do a combination of all three things. So water fast, then maybe juice, and then maybe go to your raw food. And so that was really cool to see that that was actually open the 24 hours that they said. So that's included in your price. And when you start to refeed, you do have a full salad bar that you have to choose from. They offer you breakfast and lunch, but then the salad bar is open, like I said, 24 hours. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Actually, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I never partook in breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it's the full spread of the salad bar. Dr. Goldhammer, actually, from what I understand, he has a farm. So a lot of it, like sprouts and fresh fruit and fresh greens, all those come from the farm. And then there are other things that are there, like steamed sweet potatoes. He doesn't believe in cooking the nutrients out of the food. So anything that you have that's like hot, or not necessarily hot, but still raw, but it's steamed. So there might be steamed vegetables there. So steamed spinach, bok choy, things like that. So you have a full variety of things that you can partake in that are included in the price when you pay for your room and board, essentially. And the other beauty of it is that my insurance, and I know this because I just got the little, the bill that they send you online once you get your service done or whatever. So the lab report came back, and I paid $13 for all of the labs that they did. So they do a urine test, they do a blood test to check all of your numbers. So your kidneys, your liver function, your blood glucose level, your oxygen level, just calcium, iron, vitamin D, all the things. So all these things are checked while you're there. And like I said, every single day, also included in that is you get your own person that comes to your room around 9 o'clock in the morning, and then again in the evening around 5 or 6 to check your vitals. So they checked my oxygen levels. Beauty of it was my oxygen, oh my God, it wasn't bad. It was like 98% the first day that I got there. But then as the days went on, it steadily went up to 100. So by the time I was done with the water fast, my oxygen went up to 100%. And why does that matter? Because your oxygen is what is really how we survive, right? Because we're all energetic beings, but we still need oxygen to be able to survive. And if your blood is oxygenated, that means that you're going to have more energy. It's going to be easier for blood to be able to flow through your vessels to your organs and all the things, right? So it's important to have good oxygen. And I honestly never thought about the importance of oxygen, but I'm also a runner. And so it dawned on me that if you're really, really hydrated, your oxygen should be at 100%, which would create an environment for you, number one, to be able to heal better. And again, improve circulation, but also help with performance if you're an athlete or you work out, you're doing this high rocks, people are in the high rocks now, or you're a runner. So now my goal is to make sure I'm as hydrated as possible. And I drink probably more water now, definitely more water now than I did before I went to TrueNorth Health Center. All right, so you got somebody that comes in and check on you every day. Now, you are there to relax. So funny, my husband was like, well, what are y'all doing at night? I'm like, nothing. We're all resting. We're in our rooms by 7 p.m. And so you are there to relax. Don't take your computer. Don't feel like, oh, I'm going to multitask and I'm going to do work. No, this is your time to disconnect from the world and focus on healing, focus on yourself, focus on your health. So I cannot encourage you to do that enough. And that's basically what they say. They have 2 workshops a day, great workshops, very, very informative. But there's no turn up at 5 o'clock at all. Like, people are resting and just reading or sunbathing outside, because in the little courtyard area there's like plenty of chairs, and they have like games, board games. Some people were out playing board games, especially if they came with other family members, or they met somebody while they were there and just kind of hanging out. But for the most part, people were relaxing. They don't even encourage you to like go outside of the grounds to like go for a walk. They want you to stay inside where it's contained, where they can check on you to make sure that you're okay. Because the last thing you want to do is be outside of TrueNorth Health Center and something happen, right? And you're on a water fast. So I appreciated that, how they encouraged you to just completely disconnect. It wasn't like, if you don't have to take a conference call, don't do it. If you don't have to get on your computer to do work, don't do it. And the other thing is, I feel like this probably the second day, I wasn't in the mood to really do anything but lay down. I slept literally for 11 hours the first day that I was there on the water fast for a full day, which was great. They encouraged that. They were like, that's great. That means your body needs it. Now, what I did find from talking to other people that were there, that some people have a challenge sleeping. I've never had a challenge sleeping. Thank you, God. No matter where I'm at, I can go to sleep. And so I slept quite a bit while I was there. 11 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours. They also track your sleep patterns, or just how long you're sleeping, when they check you every single day, in the morning and then in the evening. So they check your oxygen, they checked your blood pressure. My blood pressure is fairly good anyway. I'm not on any medication, not on any medication for blood pressure also. However, it probably went, say I was at 117, my blood pressure on some days was like at 113 over 64 or 71, which was fine, because, you're not exerting anything or eating food that is going to cause your blood pressure to be elevated. So that was good. And I'm trying to think what else they checked. Oh, they wanted to know, if I was able to go to the bathroom to do number 1 and number 2, and I was. But they do say by the 3rd or 4th day, you may not be able to go to the bathroom. But of course, when you start to reintroduce food, you're able to go. But I was able to go like the entire time, except for one day. There was one day, and then the next day I made up for it. So it was fine. And it's just regular stool. It's not loose. It's not, anything crazy. But again, that was me. That was my experience. Your experience when you decide to go, because I hope you decide to go, could be different. But for me, that was my experience. Everyone was lovely. The energy there was so high vibing, for sure. Everybody had just great vibes, great energy. And when I say energy from an internal perspective, I don't mean like energy they want to go run a marathon, because again, we're on a water fast, so nobody's doing that. But just in terms of their overall spirit that they're emitting into the universe, it was a great vibe energetically, which I really appreciated. Very serene environment. And again, they really do check on you there to make sure that you are okay every single day. Now, another beautiful thing about TrueNorth, now that we're done with the cost part of it, so again, about $1,700 for me, but that doesn't include like the airfare, getting Uber. Now, I will say this was weird. That's one thing that I did not appreciate. TrueNorth Health Center is like 10 minutes from the airport. Why was the Uber $50? Somebody explain that to me. I did not understand that. I'm like, we're going 10 minutes down the street. Why is it $50? And it was that way going back to the airport. So anyway, they probably price gouge you, or maybe it's just, gas prices are high. And I'm sure in California, they're paying probably double and maybe triple in some cases than what we're paying here in the Midwest. So I guess now that I think about it, it probably was the right price, but I was a little shocked by that. But now that I'm talking it through with you guys, I totally get it. So anyway, that was one part of the experience. So the other thing that they have available to you while you're at TrueNorth is they have vetted staff that have been on staff apparently for a very, very, very long time. And you're able to get reflexology, If you want to go into a separate area, it's like a separate little building where they have like manicures, pedicures, waxing, and things like that. You can do that while you're there. They have all different types of massages, lymphatic massages that you can get, neck massages. Again, I got reflexology, which was incredible. She was so talented, and they actually come to your room for those types of services. The only service where you have to go to like another building that's within the grounds of TrueNorth Health Center is when you want to get like a pedicure, manicure, or waxing and things like that. But reflexology, any other types of massages and things that they had available. And I'm trying to see what I'm missing because I got my little sheet here. This is what they give you when you get there. And they have like a full book of information that like is laminated, plastic protected, so you can kind of understand what goes on there. But anyway, I got the reflexology the third day in my room. She was incredible. She was very talented. And then it just so happened that same day, she had a class at 2 o'clock that she taught about the benefits of reflexology and just your overall health, and how there are pressure points on your feet that will actually lead to other areas in your neck and your lymphatic system, your adrenals. You know, if you've got lower back pain, there are ways that you can manipulate the pressure points in the feet. And she also showed us how to do it with your little finger and certain areas on your hands and also on your feet to be able to affect movement in certain parts of your body. So one of the things that came out of it, she said that my adrenals were a little bit slow, or what do they call it? I don't even think they call it slow, but it was not optimal, let's just say that, because there was a little tender part of my foot, and I'm like, oh, what's that? She's like, those are your adrenals. She's like, I felt that too. So she was able to kind of work it out for me, but that also let me know that that's something that I needed to continue to work on once I got home. I'm about to taste this watermelon, y'all. Wow. Because I just got this, and I know it smells really good. It's delicious. You know, even though watermelon's in season, it's kind of like Russian roulette. You don't know what you're going to get. It could be sweet, it could not be sweet. But somebody told me that if it's yellow on the bottom, that means it's going to be sweet. Sometimes that has worked and sometimes it hasn't. That's good. Let me get a napkin. All right, so she did reflexology. I was going to get some other services, but you know, I just didn't. I just felt like, oh, I really want to take this time to just read. You know, I also took the time to look at some of the research studies that Dr. Goldhammer himself had been a part of, or outside researchers had been a part of as well, about the benefits of fasting, the benefits of, you know, energetic foods, and how it has so many healing properties. So I took the time to do that. And he will send you like several links to things that will help you to understand water fasting and why you're doing it. So that was that. And when you go there too, and I did bring it to share with you guys, when you go there, he has like in the lobby area, there's like a case full of books and cookbooks, and you can learn how to make your own fresh sauces and dressings. And two of the books that I was interested in, although he had many, he even had one by Chef AJ. I know you guys are probably all familiar with Chef AJ in the vegan community, but he even had one by Chef AJ. So the one that I got was actually called The Pleasure Trap. And I started reading it while I was there. Let's see what page I'm on. I'm on page 17, but I got so many books while I was there. Like literally, I had to sit on my suitcase because it wasn't full of clothes this time. It was full of information that I needed, that I know that I want to dig deeper into. So this one is Mastering the Hidden Force That Undermines Health and Happiness, forward by John McDougall himself. And this is written by Dr. Lyle, who's a PhD, and Alan Goldhammer himself. So I got that book. And then another book that I got, Can Fasting Save Your Life? So I was really interested in this because I want to continue to fast even after leaving TrueNorth Health Center. The other thing that I got, he had a lot of different supplements that are pure, so no crap in these particular supplements. You can also go online and order them, but I got some magnesium glycinate because I use this for recovery after workouts. I don't use it because I can't sleep, because I can sleep anytime, anywhere, any day, anyhow, thank God. But anyway, this is magnesium glycinate, and I use this for like recovery from exercise. And then I needed some vitamin D3. My vitamin D is always low. Vitamin D should not be low because it affects all your metabolic processes. So whether or not you've got melanin in your skin or not, you need to make sure that you've got vitamin D. Male, female, children, everybody needs to have some vitamin D in their life, particularly if you live in a place that doesn't have a lot of sunlight. And then I got some liquid vitamin D as well. So this is B12, sorry. So this is 5,000 IUs of B12 because I was kind of out of B12. Although on my labs, my B12 was really, really good. That's because I do take a B12 supplement, so I don't have a deficiency in B12 by any stretch of the imagination. Let me see what else I wanted to show you guys. Well, I continue to do this because I gotta get going because I gotta get to the running club. But these are my labs, so they took my labs. And one of the things that was interesting to me was the fact that, and I've had this checked before, but you know how they say, oh, vegans, they're low in calcium, they're gonna be deficient, and you need milk to be able to not, have osteoporosis later on, and all the things, right? All those things are propaganda that's pushed by companies that sell milk and other products that they want you to get for calcium. My calcium was 9.7 on a scale from 8.7 to 10.2. So y'all tell me, are vegans deficient in calcium? I think not. So remember that. Mine was 9.7 and the scale is 8.7 to 10.2. So it was almost the highest that it could possibly be. And then the other thing was like measuring protein, albumin, my globulin, chloride, carbon dioxide. It also measured my white blood cells and red blood cells, and neutrophils and lymphs. So your lymph nodes, and I know that my lymph system is a little bit weaker. That was the word I was looking for my adrenals. My adrenals are weak. So my lymph is weak and my adrenals are weak. But that all has to do with not the food that I'm eating necessarily, because there was a time when I was eating a lot of junk vegan food, which is another reason why I want to do this water fast, so I can completely detox myself from that, start anew, and not do that anymore to my body. But also, I wanted to understand, kind of rejuvenate my immune system, right? Rejuvenate my immune system. So there are some things that I still need to work on from a white blood cell and red blood cell count, but I'm anxious to see what it will be when I go back. So my white blood cell count was 5.5 on a scale from 3 to 4 to 10.8. And he said sometimes when you're on a water fast, that is normal because your body is kind of fighting off infections naturally because now you're given the environment to do so. And then my red blood cell count was like 4.34, and the measure is 3.77 to 5.28. The beauty of it is they actually explain all of this to you as well. So you not only go away having fasted, rejuvenated, restored, you come away with knowledge, and you come away with just a greater sense of self and who you are and what you're capable of, in my opinion. So that's kind of my experience. And like I said, they had 2 classes a day, one at 10, one at 2 o'clock. The last day there was a cooking class. They have amazing chefs there that know what they're doing, know how to use these herbs without using salt, that can help to benefit and not hinder your process of restoration, right? So that was really, really cool. And then the first day, oh my God, I walked in, it was Dr. Goldhammer himself. So he actually conducted a workshop that Monday when I was there. And I was just like so amazed at that, just listening to him. I could listen to Dr. Goldhammer like all day, every day, again, because he just got such a calm constitution about himself and energetically, and he lives this lifestyle himself, and you can certainly tell that. So he practices what he preaches as well. So there was that. There was workshops on brain health and how food actually affects your brain. They were really big on that particular person that talked about brain health. Always learn something new. So if you like cooking, learn how to cook Italian food, or learn how to cook vegan food, or learn how to cook French food, because that helps with the synapses in your brain in terms of you're always turning on this ability to learn something new, which helps the longevity of the health of your brain. I did not even think about that. And so I learned a lot from that workshop too. And again, I went to the chef's workshop that he had, which was all about like making sauces and things like that out of natural whole foods, as opposed to getting that junk out of the grocery stores that is never ever going to be good for you, which I appreciated. And he also had like the full chefdom of what it is to make a base or a salad, like, you know, the savory, and there's like a little pyramid. I wish I could explain it better, but that was cool too. So there were things that you also could learn on this journey. So with that being said, do I recommend TrueNorth Health Center? I absolutely do. And again, it is so worth it for you to do it. I know people are going to ask, well, did you lose weight? And the reason why I have not started with, did I lose weight? Because I know that's what everybody wants to know, is because that wasn't my purpose, all right? Now, did I lose weight? Yes. But my overall purpose was to just restore myself. I want to do so many things. You know, I want to improve my spiritual life. I want to improve my spiritual connection to God, my inner self, my intuition, heal my gut. So many things that I want to be able to accomplish with the water fast. So I lost 9 pounds in the 5 days that I was on the water fast. And they said that when you go away, they expect for you to stay on this for life, which is understandable because you feel incredible, particularly when you start refeeding too, because now the food and everything just tastes so much better, and all you really want is fresh juice and raw food and to drink more water. And I found that to be my experience. Like, this watermelon is so filled with water and goodness and fiber and sweetness. It's just like so good. I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for this kind of thing. Like, I'm craving more of the good stuff and less of the bad stuff. And if you go away and you're craving some of the bad stuff, it's probably out of habit, not out of true desire. So just remember that. You got to be strong. Don't go back to your old ways. Because it's easy to do, right? When you come back into the world, it's easy to go back to the ways of the world. But I'm not trying to be of the world. I'm trying to be the best version of myself that I possibly can be while I'm here on this earth. And I'm trying to live my life on purpose, trying to set an example for other people to be able to live a high vibing quality of life for the duration, however long that may be. My son says I need to live to 107, and I want to be able to live till I'm 107, you know, taking care of myself on my own if I need to, you know, living life, still traveling, still doing some of the things that I enjoy, and be able to enjoy my retirement. I mean, that's ultimately the goal. And like I said, my inner guidance system, I also like to call it my God guidance system, is pushing me more and more toward a more spiritual way of living and being and doing and thinking. And really, it does start with what we put in our mouths because those chemicals can really throw everything off, not just your body, not just your weight, but even your mental abilities and your intuition and your creativity. So you want that back? Go to TrueNorth Health, save your money, get some of your girlfriends, and restore. I met a wonderful family. It was, there were 4 women. One was from Brooklyn, but she had gone to TrueNorth a year before came back, and this time she brought her sisters with her. I want to do the same thing, bring my sisters so we can all be healthy together. But one of her sisters was from Nigeria, and she said, I had to come. She literally flew from Nigeria. So when I say people are coming from all over the world, I mean people are coming from all over the world. She said that when her sister went and cured herself from like diabetes and some other chronic ailments that she had, she also had diabetes and insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome and all kinds of things that she wanted to also heal herself from. And they were there, I think like 10 days or more, because they were going to do the water fast, I think for 7 days. So they would have to be there like 14 days total. That's the other thing about it. Plan for, you have to stay an equal amount of time that you're on the water fast. You have to stay so they can make sure that you're okay and that you're properly refeeding after, because the last thing you want is to be on the water fast and eat the wrong stuff. So this is definitely a controlled environment. You're gonna do well. You're gonna love it. You're gonna have all the support that you need. And if you've got any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. I am more than happy to answer those questions for you. All right, I'm gonna eat my watermelon and I'm gonna get dressed so I can go to this run club. It's like 180 degrees in Columbus. It feels like it. But I'm gonna get out of here so I can get to run club. But thank you all so much for listening. And again, if you have any questions, I am Callie Leatherwood, and I am more than happy to help you and to answer any of those questions that you have. And I may do a follow-up video and talk about some of my other experiences at TrueNorth Health Center, as well as share some of my additional lab results. But anyway, you guys have a glorious and amazing evening, afternoon, wherever you are, morning, and I will see you guys again. Peace.